So welcome back to Sound Bites, the show about good people doing good things in the local food and drink industry. And today, my pleasure to welcome Liz Blanchette of Maritime Salt. So welcome, Liz.
Thank you.
So, 2014, what was the thought process behind opening a salt business?
It goes back a little further than that, around 12 or 13, thinking of retiring, what do I like to do? And I had a whole pile of herbs growing in my backyard. I have they still are there, actually, because I ended up doing salt. The idea was I was going to do a salt rub and salt, and I was doing all local, all my herbs. Couldn't find sea salt. I was shocked. I couldn't find sea salt in Nova Scotia. I couldn't find sea salt in Canada. So I thought, well, okay. So I kind of put it aside and kept thinking about it, but I'm an engineer, my background.
Right.
So I just thought about it, and then we went to, my dad's on the East Pepeswick Road on the Eastern Shore. So Martinique Beach, went to Martinique Beach, got water. How does this, and then when I made it, I boiled it. So I boiled it first.
Yeah, because your process is unique. So I was looking through some YouTube videos. I see chefs boiling salt water and then finish oven drying, but your process is different than that. So and you're an engineer, so obviously you probably went through the whole pros and cons of everything. And
so when I
tell us about your process.
So when I first started, I boiled it. And but it takes a really long time to boil it. It takes a lot of energy to boil it. So I thought there's got to be a better way. So I looked into solar stills and drying it with solar power. So I figured it out. I just geeked out on it, and now we have salt houses, which look like little greenhouses, and we put the water in pans, and it's all solar dried from beginning to end.
Right. So I mean, in terms of environmental, I mean, you're taking natural resources beyond abundant, like almost infinitely abundant, and then you actually have almost no carbon footprints.
Yeah, only driving back and forth to the ocean, like I said, is the only thing. Everything else is solar powered. So we have little solar panels that drive fans in the salt houses.
And how long does the process take? So from collecting water.
Surprisingly, it takes about 2 days to dry. If the water's it depends on how many square feet you have, right? So, but if the water's that deep, it's about 2 days of nice sun.
Okay. And that's,
which is shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is shocking, because a lot of people go, you can't do solar in Nova Scotia, right? There's too much rain. There's too much. Well, but I do. Yeah.
Well, speaking of rain, you probably have had a bit of a rough year in terms of getting your salt with all the rain and the weather we had. So now we know how you make it environmentally friendly, which is amazing. Talk about the salt itself. So what's the texture? Do you go for like a texture, or is it a flavor? What's kind of driving what you want, or is it just allowing the seed to?
It's allowing the sun to dry, and when it dries in a large crystal, just because it's sitting there calmly, so all the crystals form. And it's also a moist sea salt. So a lot of people think of sea salt like Italian sea salt, other salt, and it's really, really hard, and you have to put it in a grinder.
Right.
But ours is a moist sea salt, so you just take it out and you can crush it with your fingers. Our sea salt. A lot of people want a grinder, and it's like you don't need one. You just crush it with your fingers.
And when I think of like premium salts and sea salts, I think of them as like finishing salts, where you add them after you cook. But tell us, is that how you kind of recommend to use yours?
Yeah, most of our salts are finishing salts. So you'd finish it on salads, or actually a lot of people, steak is really good.
Oh yeah,
right. So steak, of course, just let it sit there for a day or whatever in the fridge, and then you barbecue it. But that's really good. The sea salt and the smoked too. Smoked on the steak is really good.
So how do you do the smoking? Because that's kind of an industry. Must be.
Yeah. So smoked is on a barbecue. We just smoke it in applewood chips on a barbecue, and so it's naturally smoked. Our philosophy is local and natural. So I know some people make like orange flavored or different flavors of salt, but they're not Nova Scotian.
Right.
So our philosophy is very much, if it's not Nova Scotian,
it's not in there.
We're not in there. Right.
And speaking of local, a couple of the interesting things you have. Well, I read about spruce tips.
Yeah, and spruce tips.
One of your newest and maybe your favorite.
The most exciting, sea truffle. Our sea truffle salt is new this year.
So tell us about what is sea truffle.
So sea truffle is a seaweed, and the seaweed grows on rackweed.
Okay.
So it's like little furry. It's almost like it's a very fine. It's like a red weed. It's a red algae, they consider it, but it's when it's dried, it's black, and it tastes very much like Italian truffle. That's why they call it sea truffle.
Amazing.
Like it's yeah.
And before you think you can go out and pick this and make it yourself, it's not that easy, right?
It's not that easy. It's under the Marine Plant Management of Fisheries and Oceans, so you need a license.
Okay.
So it took a while to get through all the licenses because it's rackweed, and a lot of the rackweed is used by other companies. So a lot of the areas in Nova Scotia are already licensed out.
Right.
So we had to be very specific to find our location. And I'm not going to reveal that.
Okay. No, that's okay. But maybe you can reveal how you like to cook with it, because I think you've got some ideas that way.
Because the other interesting thing about sea truffle is when you dry herbs, they usually get less aromatic. And with sea truffle, it gets more aromatic. It's really interesting when you dry it. It dries really fast. We can dry it in our salt houses. And then it crushes into little pieces, not like flakes. It's more like little pieces. And I use it on everything. I use it in chowders. It's really good on fish. And spaghetti sauce, because Italian. Yeah. On mushrooms is really good. Oh, wow. On eggs is really good.
All right. I'm actually getting really hungry. So I'm going to find this. I might just do this. So how do we find you? So you're mostly online?
Yeah, Maritime Salt is the website. I have a fair number of stores. Do you want me to list the stores?
Sure,
yeah, Jennifer's in Nova Scotia. Nice. We have a lot. Twisted Willow in Historic Properties. Organic Earth on Quimple. We have the Spice Trader, which we just restocked in Toronto. Okay. So, I'm probably missing all kinds of people. They're on my website. Kept Shop in Dartmouth, who are big people.
Google's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
so if you're looking for it, use Google. But it's amazing. So what I love, thank you for coming in. Authentic. Local and good for, and really not doing a lot of impact on our the most minimal impact you could have any business I've thought of recently. So amazing. So go look for Maritime Salt and get a steak, or I think big chowder, or
salads,
something that wants
or
truffle.
Sea salt spray on corn on cob.
Oh, done. Okay, so enjoy some salt on your cuisine this summer. Cheers.
Thank you.